Hi, my name is Jackson Tony. I'm going to be a junior, and I'm very grateful that I was able to take this class over the summer because I learned a lot more than I thought I would, and I um, found a newly found appreciation for Native American music and just their lifestyle and culture. So for the research paper, I decided to do it over the Hamat'sa Society and kind of just their initiation process and the songs and dances that go into that whole ceremony and what makes it so original and so secret and sacred. That makes it different from a lot of other Native American ceremonies that we learned about. I know we touched on it a bit in one of the quizzes, and whenever I watched the video that you provided, it kind of sparked an interest. Whenever I saw that you wanted us to choose something that that we kind of stood out to us, I thought of this instantly because it was something that I greatly appreciated learning about. So in my paper, I start by talking about how it originally started. It started in the late 1800s, and it's been carried on up until today's time. I actually saw a video online on YouTube about one being performed in 2010, and although I could see how it has changed in years, and now nowadays it may not be as structured and as sacred as it was back then, it still encompasses a lot of the same things. So I start by talking about the actual initiation itself and how a young member of a tribe is chosen by his family and other tribe members because they respect him and they feel that he's deserving of such a high status. So they would put him up for initiation, and the current members of the Hamat'sa Society would actually go and capture that young male who's typically around 25 or mid-20s, late 20s. So he's becoming a man, but he's not yet a full adult. They would actually capture him and take him into the forest where he's held for months. And while he is being held, he has to bathe himself in cold water, and he actually fasts as well. All this is enabled to, as they word it, clean his spirit. And they say that you cannot come in contact with and I'm sorry if I get this name wrong, Bakbak Bali Mixiwa. I don't really know how to describe the spirit that this whole ritual kind of revolves around. And it is said that that spirit, again, I don't really know how to say its name, would actually come down and take humans and actually eat on them. And that's why the Hamat'sa Society is also called the Cannibal Society, or the Hamat'sa dance is called the Cannibal Dance, because the guy it is kind of revolved around actually used to come down and eat humans. And it is said that those who offered spiritual gifts instead of being eaten were in return given certain rights or certain songs or dances that he possessed. He would give it to those humans. And it said those who still have those rights and songs and dances are able to choose the new set of initiates that go through to become a part of the Hamat'sa Society. And so as the initiate is in the forest, either as he is cleansing with cold water and as he is fasting, he is said to lose his human scent. And it is said in one of the articles that I've provided here that only a person who has properly prepared himself can get closer to the spirits. So that is kind of what he does for months to come during the whole process. And once he is ready, he is brought back in front of his people, in front of his tribe, in front of his family, and in front of the current members of the Hamat'sa Society. And he's brought back, and you can see, especially in the videos and what I read, that he is very wild and even described as dangerous amongst the other people. And what they do is they have a fire in the middle, a fire pit, and the current members carry him around the fire. And it's very important how many times they carried him around. They carry him around 4 times, which is a very sacred member to this tribe, and mainly almost all the tribes in the Pacific Northwest. The number 4 represents not only the number of seasons, it also kind of it represents the number of seasons, the different directions, northwest, south, east. It represents the it's the seasons and the directions. Oh, and as well as the spiritual realms, the 4 spiritual realms. And so he's taken around the fire 4 times as he screams what it sounds like hap, which in the video that you provided, it translates to like I crave human flesh. So he's screaming that as he's being taken around the fire to show that he is being overpowered by the evil spirit that is Bak Bak Balanixua. Again, I don't really know how to say it. And so as he's circled around the fire, he's finally put down, or not put down, not killed, but set down and settled. And the main speaker of the ritual brings over what is very sacred and valued to these people, which is red cedar bark. And it, as you provided in your text, it is very sacred to these people, and it represents supernatural power. And the power of this and the power of fire are used to kind of free the initiate of the evil spirit that is within him. And throughout this, he is being taken around the fire. And with this red cedar bark is said that this alone, along with the use of songs, which I'll get to here in a second, is used to help tame him and free him of the spirit. And so towards the end, he becomes more calm, and he is said to be free, and he's reunited with his family and his tribe as a man that has overcome a great evil spirit. And he is taught something in this, and the lesson that is kind of learned from him is that he is not alone anymore. He is a part of a greater society, and that together, as a society, as a tribe, as a family, that they can defeat an evil spirit. But alone, you will fail. As we saw when he came back, when he was alone, he was dangerous, wanted to attack all these people, but he was brought in by other members of the society, and they held him down, because if they didn't, he would have shown an act of cannibalism. But as a society, as a group, they were able to tame him and overcome the evil spirit. And so then I go into the use of songs that are used in this ritual. There are 3 different kind of steps and kind of songs that are used within this ritual. The first one is one where he first comes in, or the initiate would come in, and the song, the beat is it's fast tempoed. It has a very fast paced beat. You hear a lot of a log drum being used, and these drums all the instruments are being performed by the Hamat'sa Society members, the current members. And the first song, there's no really rhythm to it. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of outgoing. There's no real structure to the song, which kind of represents how the young initiate is when he is first brought into the whole ceremony, where he's in the middle, circling the fire. He's crazy. He doesn't really know what's going on. He has the evil spirit in him, so he's not very structured. And that kind of is represented by the beat that is portrayed when he first comes in. It's very crazy, not very structured. The second beat that, or the second song that is used in the ceremony is still very fast-paced, still fast-tempoed, but is more consistent. It's more of a structured beat. And this kind of represents how he was once very out of control, not tamed, and he's slowly becoming more free-willed. He's becoming able to understand what is going on, and that is shown because he's starting to follow this beat that actually has a rhythm to it now. He's being overpowered by the beat of the drums, by the music, instead of being overpowered by the spirit of the cannibal Box Bilanikuwa. And then it goes in, the second song is, so it's more structured. So he's trying to see, he's getting more tamed with the more structure that comes to the song. And then the final third song is it's slowed down a bit, And this song is where you hear more chants and sacred lyrics of what I don't know how to pronounce the word, but it's of the sacred birds that finally come in. And these birds kind of release whatever is left within the initiate. They release the last parts of the evil spirit. And those kind of get out whatever is left in him. And they finally release him of the evil spirit. So he's finally able to be a member of the Hamat'sa society, to show that he was able to overcome what had taken over his body during those months in the forest when he had come face to face with the evil spirit of Box Fox Belly and Naked Wall. Then I finally go into the different dances. The dance, the entire time, he appears to be free will. It shows that he goes from having to be held down from the beginning to at the end where he's like free willed. He's jumping around. He's shuffling around the fire. He's paying homage to all those around him, especially the current members of the Hamat'sa society. And it shows that he was once a controlled individual, but now his body and mind are free, and he seems free-willed as he is dancing and moving about around the center area around the fire. And in the final dance at the end of the whole ceremony, you'll even sometimes see, I know this doesn't happen always, but I did read about a couple of times where even the older Hamat'sa society members will come and join in on the final dance and kind of mimic what the younger initiate is doing, just to kind of celebrate and pay respect to what he had gone through and the journey that the entire society has gone through. Not just the young initiate, but the whole concept is that they are all together and they all fight through this together. And so that is the main lesson learned by the new member. And so that is the basic, the general points I try and make in my paper. It goes into a lot more detail. But I just kind of tried to show how the use of song, use of dance, kind of were used in the whole initiation process, and how the whole initiation process itself is one of the most sacred and respected rituals in Native American culture, and how it has created this identity for this people that even people today still aren't able to, because a lot of its secrets are still held within that group. And I greatly respect that, because nowadays it seems like too many of group secrets are getting out. And I'm glad that this culture has been able to hold on to it for this long. And so that's kind of what my paper is about. Like I said, it gets into a lot more detail once you read it. But once again, thank you so much for this class. I had a great time taking it, and I hope you have a great rest of your summer. Thank you.